Oh, hi everyone. Welcome. I am from DNEG, like Sam said. DNEG are officially the world's largest visual effects company. We employ, I think it's about 9,000 people globally with sites all across the world. My name is Jonny. I am the talent acquisition manager here for the London studio. So I look after recruitment for all of our divisions. That's across visual effects, animation, and a number of other different areas that we as a company have got into that are sort of driving the future of storytelling. So I'm here today to talk to you about how you can join this fun and make movie magic yourself. I'm going to talk you through what visual effects is. I've got some examples to show you some things that you might not realize are visual effects, some things that are very obviously visual effects and not real, but still fit in seamlessly to this world that our filmmakers create. So, what is visual effects? You've probably all heard the term. You've maybe also heard the term special effects. So, visual effects is essentially anything that is created digitally. So, that is using CGI or computer generated imagery to build and make things that cannot happen or cannot be done in real life. So, these range from big, vast environments, characters and creatures, explosions, magic, anything you can conceptualize, you can make in visual effects. It's usually we use visual effects in place of something that is too dangerous. So for if it's not possible for a stuntman to do that, we can replace that with visual effects. Or if it's something that just simply isn't real, like a King Kong or a rocket raccoon, you can't train a raccoon to do what Rocket does, unfortunately. So that's where the visual effects team come in and build a creature and a character like that to carry a performance. Visual effects is usually considered photoreal, and that is the difference between visual effects and animation. Animation is your more stylized, cartoony types from your likes of Disney, Pixar, and DreamWorks. DNEG also delve into animation. Our division DNEG Animation has done a number of films. We worked on Garfield most recently and Nimona. So coming to DNEG, you get the opportunity potentially to do both. But the difference here is that visual effects is usually considered photoreal. These are elements that we integrate with live action, which means we take what has been shot on set in camera and we can add to it, or we can build a scene fully in CG, which means that it never existed in the first place. Absolutely nothing of what you saw on screen existed, but we have created it and made it look as if it's been shot on camera. So, where would you see visual effects? You've all probably seen films and TV shows, even documentaries. Um, Pretty much everything that is fictional that you see on TV or in the cinema streaming has some form of visual effects in it. It may not be really obvious. It may be something just as small as removing a logo from a building or changing a background to fit what the director's vision was, removing trees, things like that. It can be something so small, or it can be building giant creatures like King Kong and Godzilla that infiltrate the entire film. Sometimes this is really obvious, like I said, and sometimes you would have absolutely no idea. So all of these images above are images that include a large amount or a fair amount of visual effects. Looking at the screen, there's nothing in these images where you would necessarily think visual effects has been needed or has been required to change anything, but we've had our hand in improving this image and making it in line with the director's vision. VFX is literally everywhere. So I've got some before and after images now. So I'm going to show you some stills from some of the films that DNEG have worked on over the last few years. I am going to give you a minute to just sort of digest what's in front of you, and then I'm going to show you where the visual effects is and what we've done to bring this film and these images to life. So this is a shot from Fast and Furious 10, which is the most recent installment of the Fast franchise. This is one of those examples where in theory, this is all possible. There's nothing in this image that looks out of the ordinary or looks potentially like it needs to be visual effects. We've got, say, a big aeroplane in the middle, cars traveling down a road, big mountainscapes and wind turbines and things like that. So nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that really sort of stands out. But if I go to the next image, you'll see there is quite a big difference. This is what was shot on set. So this is what we received as a plate, is what we know it's known as. And so if I flick backwards and forwards, you can see there the difference. All of the cars are CG, the plane itself is CG, the mountains in the background, a significant number of the wind turbines, and we've actually changed the direction of the road. Here I have an image from Ghostbusters Afterlife. Um, some more obvious things in here. So there's a big creature to the right-hand side behind the main character that I think you can probably guess was not real and was not on set. But if I go to the next image, you'll also see those broken glass doors were never there, and we've also removed a McDonald's logo that didn't need to be in the picture. So I'll just flick back a couple of times so you can see there. The idea here is that the first image you see, the final image, blends seamlessly into everything, and you would never even know that we've done our job. The beauty of visual effects is in the invisible. The We can stand most proud. We can say we've done the best job possible when it's no one would even be able to tell that we've done our job. And here, finally, I have an image from The Gorge, which is a film, a sci-fi film on Apple TV. So again, nothing out of the ordinary. Potentially, you've got a big explosion in the background. That's probably too dangerous to do on set. But actually, if I flick through, everything except the actor in that image is visual effects. Nothing in there that you can see other than Miles Teller was actually on set at the time. You can see there's a big blue screen all around him and on the floor that he's working on that allows us to easily replace that background to give you this final image. So who makes movie magic? Who are the people behind the scenes putting all of this together? I'm going to talk you through now the types of roles, the types of people that are doing this, and the skills and the experience that we look for as employers to come and do this, and ultimately how you might be able to acquire those skills. So we can break down our roles pretty much loosely into four different categories. So we have the creative, which are the people putting the pictures on the screen. We have production, who are the planners and the organizers of a show. We have technology, who work to create tools and build things that are going to fix our problems or allow us to do things that we wouldn't necessarily be able to do with things off the shelf. And then we have the support teams, which are the people behind the scenes of the behind the scenes, helping to make a company like DNEG function and run and allow everyone to get on and do their job to the best of their ability. So on the creative side, we have VFX artists who are both creative and technically minded people. So it suits someone who has a bit of a passion to lean into both sides. Although if you are more creative and less technical, there is also space for you here as well. Not every single role in the industry or at DNEG blends both, but there's certainly a happy marriage between the two. And if you have skills in both, you're in a good position to be sought after by companies like DNEG and the rest of the industry. Some people as artists are multi-skilled and we would call them generalists, so they will do a bit of everything. And others specialize in particular areas, so like modeling, so you are building the creatures or you're building the assets. Environment creation, you're the ones creating and building a big cityscape or an alien planet or a post-apocalyptic city. Effects is basically anything that happens. That's your explosions, your big water splashes, tidal waves, anything like that, magic, or people that light the scene. So just like you would light a set or a theater stage with real physical lights, we light our scenes digitally with lighters who are experts in placing light, understanding how light reacts with objects and things like that. So there are lots of different specialisms within the artist space that you can dive into. You don't necessarily have to know which area you want to specialize in as you come into the industry, as you study and explore and play, ultimately is what we want you to do. While learning, you'll find out what works for you, what you're interested in, and the kind of area that you think you might be able to throw yourself into completely. So the kinds of qualifications that we would look for as an artist, The most typical is going to university and doing a VFX degree, but that is by no means the only route in. There are apprenticeships. There are lots of apprenticeships out there for people that would prefer a more practical and more involved level of study on with an employer directly. Or you can actually teach yourself. There are hundreds and hundreds of hours of YouTube videos out there for people to learn software and understand what the skills are that you would need to be able to come into a professional environment and perform the work that we do. So by no means is a degree essential. If university you don't think is for you, then a career in visual effects is still very much open, is still very much something that you can pursue. The software that we use in roles like this, industry standard is Maya for mostly things like modeling and animation and rigging. Blender is an open source and a free version that is very similar to Maya. So if you don't have the capacity to buy a Maya license, which the vast majority of people won't, then go and explore Blender. Have a look. It's very similar to Maya, works in a very similar way. Um, but is open source and free for you to use. We then have Houdini and Nuke that are other tools for different disciplines. Production crew are the driving force behind a show, so they are organizing and leading the teams to get to their delivery points, knowing when and where we have to cut off what we're doing, when everything needs to be wrapped up and sent to the client by. The qualifications, again, very similar, a VFX degree, potentially a film degree, or you can come in self-taught. There's lots of information about visual effects and the processes that we follow that you can find on YouTube if you want to teach yourself. And the software that we use in production is ShotGrid or Flow, which are used to basically schedule and work out what all of our deadlines are. It's similar to Excel. So if you're comfortable in Excel and a spreadsheet, then this might be the role for you. On the technology side, so technology teams are our tool builders and our support for the artists and our pipeline. So they fix technical issues, they can build tools from scratch that allow us to perform something within a software that you may be not able to do if you're doing that off the shelf. They are technically minded, they're coding in Python, so normally come from a computer science degree. If you do a visual effects degree, an element of what you study will also be in the technical, and there are apprenticeships out there that you can do this with as well. So the overall message here is that any role, essentially, you can come from any form of study, any form of background. If you've got the skills, if whether you've taught them yourself or you've been taught them by an institution, it doesn't matter. If you can showcase the skills that we want to see, you are welcome here. And then finally, support. Support is everything else. So that is roles like myself in talent acquisition, HR, facilities, office managers, training teams, things like that. So there's no qualifications necessary here because ultimately you can go into those roles from any kind of background showing an aptitude and a want to do that role. So if you have general computer skills, if you like talking to people, then you very much might be suited to a role in talent acquisition. If you like finding people, talking to people, getting to understand people, then a role in talent acquisition might be good for you. If you like organizing and sort of keeping on top of things, then a role in HR might be the right sort of thing for you. So the support roles are everything else that encompasses the running of a business. And then so the professional skills that we look for as an employer, as a visual effects company. We want talent, ultimately. We want the very best in the world to come to DNEG and do the work that we do. Passion, a love for film, a love for your craft and what you do will carry you over the more challenging days and sort of motivate you to do the very best that you can. Ambition, this industry is constantly evolving. The technology is a driving force of what we do. Obviously, AI is a big involvement there that will come and will change the industry and impact how we do things. But ambition to explore that and be a part of that and drive that is really important. A love of film, TV, and storytelling goes a long way. We are all very passionate here about our craft, about storytelling, and love talking about the films that we're working on, the films that we've seen, and get excited about what we're doing. You also need to be able to keep a secret. we see a lot of things, a lot of spoilers before things get out in the world. We're not allowed to share, we're not allowed to talk about it. So you need to make sure that you can keep a secret, that you can sit on those big reveals until they're in the cinema and talk about it. So it's an exciting place to be. If you like film, if you're excited by what's coming out in films, then this is definitely the world for you. So here is the video. I mentioned very, very briefly AI there. So this is a video that's a really good example of how we are integrating artificial intelligence into the world of visual effects and what we do. DNEG worked on a film called Here with Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, which came out end of last year in cinema, and where the characters were de-aged and aged up. So this is how we use the new tools and technology available to us to put the best outcome on screen. So Sam, I don't know if you want to jump in with the presentation now for sound. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Absolutely. Here we go. Oh, let me actually just make sure that I shared it with sound, because that would be ironic, wouldn't it? Okay, there we go. Let me go full screen. How do I do that? Slideshow. Oh no, not that. Is that, can you see full screen there?
No, you've shown us the speaker notes.
I don't use power. Ah, here we go. Is that full screen?
That's full screen, yeah.
Great. All right then. Okay, let me put myself on mute. Let me know in the chat if anyone can't hear, but you should be able to hear this.
So it's the, here we go. It should just play automatically.
Oh, I don't know why this isn't.
So go that's just a holding. That's not the video. The next slide is the video.
Oh, sorry. So sorry.
Okay. So that's the video.
Oh, God. Sorry, guys. Bear with me 1 second. Oh. I don't know why it's not. I don't seem to be able to. There's no play option.
All right. So it's an embedded YouTube video.
Yeah, I can't get the link for the. Oh, okay. I've got it.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. I'd like you to meet Dad.
It's making me play it outside of the slideshow.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me just change the screen, and then you will be able to see what we're sharing. So sorry about this technical. Here we go. Can you see that?
Yes.
Great. Here we go.
To meet you, Mother.
In Here, Robert Zemeckis takes audiences on a groundbreaking journey, transforming a single room into the stage for decades of human life.
It is as sturdy as an old tree.
To tell this ambitious story, we had to make iconic actors appear as young as 16 and as old as 90, sustaining their performances seamlessly across over an hour of screen time.
I love it here.
Capturing the full emotional depth and authenticity of the actors' performances across such complex and extended scenes was an extraordinary challenge that demanded a new way forward.
You make Mommy so happy. I'm so happy.
Traditional visual effects, with their reliance on digital doubles, CG heads, motion capture suits, and time-intensive rendering, would have struggled to achieve the scale and emotional depth required. So, we reimagined the process with a groundbreaking neural performance toolset. On set, this real-time de-aging system allowed actors and directors to see younger or older versions of themselves live as they perform. This immediate feedback unlocked new creative possibilities, helping actors fine-tune their performances with uncanny precision. Cinematographers lit these aged and de-aged faces in real time.
She's pregnant. Margaret is pregnant.
While hair and makeup artists tailored looks for each stage of life, every department worked together to craft a seamless, authentic vision.
You're just 18 years old. The big lawyer. Is she even 18?
What do you want me to say?
In post-production, our team combined advanced visual data science with fine-grained compositing. Neural animation made it possible to refine every detail of the actors' expressions and movements, while our compositors meticulously blended these outputs into the cinematography, ensuring the final images felt real and emotionally resonant.
Wow. Oh, we have to show Rose.
This achievement isn't just about technology, it's about enhancing creativity. These tools empowered actors, filmmakers, and artists to do what they do best, delivering a film that would have been difficult to achieve with traditional techniques.
You could spend the rest of the night here.
With Here, we've set a new benchmark for what's possible in cinema,
I could spend the rest of my life here.
proving that innovation and artistry can work hand in hand to tell stories in ways we've never seen before.
That is for sure.